guys, this is Pavel with Virtudesk. The name Virtudesk came up actually very spontaneously. And in essence, we were like brainstorming with my old team and just trying to figure out the name. We looked at the desk because this is basically where you work at. This is desk, and the name virtually came up as it is. That's why we actually combined just virtue and desk. That's why it actually came as the working remotely, kind of a epiphany of working remotely. So that's kind of the name came up very spontaneously. Pretty much like took us about 5 minutes to brainstorm and come up with a name that actually became a household name at the moment. That's just what happens. The culture that exists at Virtudesk is more of like a family values culture. We do treat our VAs and staff as family members. We're very old, closely held and operated. We do care what's going on with our people. We do get involved sometimes with people have any kind of situations, life situations come up. For example, like when COVID hit last year, we didn't lay off a single employee. I know a lot of companies did. Our competition laid off about 70% of their support staff. We didn't lay off a single person. We all kept them on payroll. We made sure that everybody is taken care of because again, time of crisis, we don't look at the profits. We look at our employees because this is our greatest asset. And that's the company culture that we've developed. And how do we come to establish it? Well, basically, again, when you treat employees like family, when you see people who care about your business as if it's their own, it's going to show, and it's going to show in the profit margins and balance sheets, and also it's going to show in the company retention and company culture. So that's how we've established it. And by actually being proactive, we look out for our VAs. We actually make sure we reach out to everybody because everybody's working from home. So it can be a very lonely gig to work from home. So we realize it's very hard sometimes to have that type of environment where, like people used to go to the offices, like everybody's talking to each other. But when you work from home, you're kind of lonely. So we made sure that we remove that gap of loneliness and made sure that people are actually engaged and people are actually not just only coming to do the work, they actually became part of their life. We do organize events. For COVID, we're organizing events in the Philippines for our associates, and now during COVID, because Philippines is still on a lockdown, we do have like virtual events, we do quarterly meetings, we do fun trivia nights, we do bingo nights where people participating virtually. That actually, all of that was a component of creating the culture of the company, and it shows in the productivity because people actually feeling appreciated. They don't feel like an empty tool who's going to be just doing the hours and getting paid and that's it. They actually feel they're actually part of the company. They're part of the family, part of the structure, part of a bigger organization. All of that actually help the company be where we are. We just recently made Inc. 5000 list, fastest growing US company, and our employees love that. They understand there's part of something way bigger than just a screen dot on a computer. The biggest unique sales proposition that differentiates us from the competition, I guess, is we do care about our virtual assistants, and we provide health insurance, we provide medical benefits, which is like life insurance, health insurance, dental, vision. We have different perks just besides the salary. Our employees receive incentive, like merit-based increases. They also receive paid time off. They receive a lot of benefits, so they do understand that they have a big company behind that gives them the sense of security and stability. As far as the client-wise, we are better than competition. Again, we've provided, besides the typical tools that we provide, like a time tracker, cyber insurance, cybersecurity insurance, and besides the great infrastructure and support for the virtual assistants, we also do a lot of training for our VAs, constant training, ongoing up training. We have staff both in the Philippines and in the US who's constantly doing classes, and that's actually helping client as well because they are getting highly trained virtual assistant who's going to become part of their team, who's going to become a person who can work in their company and be on a long-term basis. And we're making sure that this actually happens, and we are in essence becoming a partner of our client where we making sure that the person who's working is actually working. We're making sure that if any issues come up, we as a company resolve those issues, and if the person, let's say, resign, we can swiftly provide a replace virtual assistant. That's just one of those things. And again, we are a US-based company, so when you hire us, you not only hire a person in the Philippines, you hire a US-based company here in the United States, which means you don't deal with somebody overseas as far as like payment goes, the security aspect of the things, and you don't have to worry about the benefits. You don't have to try to figure out what benefits to provide to your VA. We all taking care of it on our side. That's what major part of it. Major challenges that the company faced, I guess like in March of last year when COVID hit, That was like the major challenge when Virtudesk was facing, because again, nobody knew what the hell was going on. And I spoke with different CEOs, I spoke with people from Fortune 500 companies, and nobody had any idea what was going to happen. In March of last year, when everybody wanted to shut down the whole world, nobody knew what was going to happen. If we're going to have the company at all, if we're going to have jobs. I know usually the knee-jerk reaction of all companies when the crisis happens is to lay off people to preserve the company. We've taken a very holistic approach. We didn't lay off people, and we did preserve the company. We took some measures that actually allowed us to operate without laying people off. That actually included taking a company reduce its profit, company forfeited the profit so that we actually can keep people on payroll. That was one of the major challenges. And again, we needed to save the company and we needed to stay afloat. We did, and not only that, we actually grew, because I think people don't remember like what you do in the time of crisis, but they remember how you do it. That was some of the most challenging time that we had, and I'm thankful that we actually overcome this very effectively, and we definitely will be ready for anything that comes next. We don't know what's going to come, but at any point, whatever comes, it comes, and we're going to be ready to a certain degree. But there was a major test for us as a company to be able not only to survive but to thrive. I'm glad we were able to do that. The growth plan for the next 12 months is obviously, we just made Fortune 5000, Inc. 5000 list, and we've been recorded as to achieve 454% growth over the last 3 years. We are going to be on the list again next year, and obviously the growth plan is to make it to Inc. 500, to be in the top 500. It's basically double the production, which we are going to do. And to back it up, the way we do it, again, we've developed great structure in the marketing department and sales department. We are connecting with influencers in the US for marketing. We've developed certain partnerships with a lot of companies. Virtudesk is becoming a household name for virtual assistants in the United States, and that's what we're doing right now. So I believe that with the right people in the right places, we will be able to achieve that, to show the growth and to provide more jobs to Filipinos in the Philippines and more jobs for people in the United States here at the corporate office. That's just one of those things. We want to make sure that people are being taken care of. We've provided more benefits this year to people here in the US as well. We've provided medical, we've provided pension plans, 401ks, and we've grown as a company, which is amazing. And I'm glad that people who are working here can actually have a sense of stability, can have great benefits and salaries, and can stay with the company for a long term. What do I define success? Success is not how much money you make, but I guess how many lives you can actually impact. At the current moment, we have several hundreds of people working in the Philippines and also a lot of people working in the United States. So all those lives are being affected positively. And at the same time, like our clients, if we're positively able to affect their business, and they can grow and they can show for the growth due to our efforts, due to our virtual assistants that we have, I define it as a success, because that's essentially why we're doing it, to be able to positively affect people, to provide ability, to provide benefits, to have people be part of the organization that allows them to grow within the organization, and also to be able to provide for their families. That's just the most important thing. That's what I have so far. And again, thank you everybody who helped Virtudesk to make it Inc. 5000 this year. And this is not only my success, this is success of everybody at Virtudesk. Every one of the person contributed, and I want to thank everybody for doing this, because without you guys, we would not have been able to be where we are. And as I usually say, this is our own success. We all share it together. That's how we do it.